13 years ago, I made a video on how to mount window Christmas lights so that they line up perfectly and look amazing. I replaced my window over the summer and I had to redo it, so I figured this would be an opportunity to show a little bit more detail and some lessons learned over the past 13 years. Each year I ran into two problems. The tracks would always fall off because of bad double-sided tape, and the track was really tight, making it hard to push the wires in. So this year I expanded the track using a heat gun and a pair of pliers. I'm using high heat and just running the pliers along as the plastic softens up. You can see here the difference that it made, and just that little amount goes a long way with getting the wires in. Measure the track to the length you need. I use tin snips to cut it. The plastic's pretty hard. Tin snips go through pretty easily. It does crush the end of the track a little bit, but it doesn't really matter. It's at the end. Make sure you clean the track and the window with alcohol. Make sure this tape will stick really well. This time I used Gorilla double-sided tape. Don't use the mounting tape, which is the spongy kind. This kind's even thinner than duct tape, but just as sticky. And if your duct tape is wider than the track, put it down and then rip it with a razor blade. So this piece I ripped, and I'm using the other half of it for the second piece of track. And you use a razor blade to cut off any excess. When my window opens, so I had to figure out where to put the track. I'm putting mine on the actual part of the window that opens, because if I put it on the jamb here on the part that doesn't open, the window itself will hide the lights from the street. And my window has this little lip that I can butt the track up against to make sure that when the window closes, I don't, pinch the track in the window. Measure it, cut it, make sure it fits, then put your tape on. This tape is very tacky, so you should only peel a little bit of the backing off at a time. Couple inches, line up the track, make sure it's in the place you want it, and then push it down. And then keep pulling the backing off as you work your way up the track to the other end, sticking it as you go and making sure it's lined up how you want it to be.
Dad, could I help?
I wrap my lights up each year just on a paper bag, and it's a good idea to roll them out and check to see if there's any light bulbs that are out before you start putting them on the window. I have an outlet behind my couch. I run the wires up to the corner, and then I go up, over, and down, and around to the middle window, going up, over, and down, and I skip the bottom because I go to that side window, up, over, down, and then you go across the bottom 2 panes, and any extra lights you have you can use to decorate things on your windowsill, or you can just tuck it behind something. Any bulbs that are out in the strand, you can move the dead bulbs to close to the plug, an area that's hidden, and move the good bulbs to the area that's going to be seen. Works perfectly every time. Same house, new window, new car. I do the same thing for the door, but there's one thing you have to consider with the door, is that it opens. I start at the top corner, going down, around, and up across the top, and then you have to go over the closing mechanism. You need to open your door all the way and see how much slack you need in the wire. You don't want too much, but you don't want too little. And find a segment that you can pinch in the door jamb without crushing a light bulb. I just duct tape it in, white Gorilla tape. Doesn't unstick in the cold. I didn't have an outlet behind my door, so I go over the top and down the side and actually use the rest of the lights on the railing. But this works perfect every time. Allows you to open and close the door. Hope this helps people.